Hi, I am Joven Sanggalang from VSHM 1115 Persil College. I want to represent to you my topic, Global Media Culture. Next, this is all the topic of my my reporting. First, what is media? Second, the global village. Third, media and globalization. Learning objectives. To know and identify the two types of media. Second, what are advantage and difference of traditional media and new media? Third, discuss about media and globalization. And last, to know the importance of media in globalization. What is media? Mass media refers to the different forms of technology used in transmitting ideas and opinions to large and diverse group of people from different places today. Mass media is categorized into two, namely tradition and the new media. This is an example of tradition media and new media. Traditional media. Traditional media include radio, broadcast, television, cable and satellite, print, and billboards. These are forms of advertising that have been around for years, and many have a success with traditional media campaigns even within traditional media. However, there is some debate over which form is the best except for telegram and telephone. Traditional media tends to be one directional. It, it facilitates a one-way communication where the person on the receiving end cannot responding or give real feedback on the information of message relate to him or her. Traditional refers to the conventional means of mass communication. It is said that traditional media can be traced to the time when humankind saw the need and learned to communicate with one another. Cave painting, sign language, and a simple conversation can be considered from traditional media. Traditional media tends to be one directional. What advantage do traditional media have? Greater exposure and advertising. Can you increase your brand reach and exposure, but that doesn't mean all of your prospective customers are online. New audience. Traditional mass media such as billboards, television, and radio allow you reach a large population across many different demographics. It's personal. Traditional advertising and marketing allow your brand to cross paths with consumers and interact with them on a more personal level, more than what you would be able to do online or dig, digitality. New media. are means of mass communication that rely on use computer technology as the platform. Feedback from the recipient to the creator of the message or information is minimal if not inexistent. These are vlogs, social media, email, website, chat room, etc. The advantage that new media as over traditional media is its flexibility. It's more accessible than traditional media. Okay, this is example of new media. Facebook. Facebook is a website which allow users who sign up for free profiles to connect with friends, work, colleges, or people they don't know online. Instagram. Instagram is an entirely visual platform. Twitter. Twitter is an online news and social networking site where people communicate in short message called tweets. YouTube. YouTube is YouTube. YouTube is a video sharing service where users can watch, like, share, comment, and upload their own video. Messenger. Messenger is connected on Facebook. This app is used for instant messaging, sharing photos and video, audio recording, and for group chats. WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Tumblr, Vimeo, Pinterest, VK account. What advantage do new media? The first advantage is that social media offers opportunities for professional online networking and its valuable business tool. And last, from connecting with customers to making it easier to compete with larger business. The advantage that the internet, electronic communication, and social media provide most small business are as numerous as its use. I know to all of you is know this next topic, the dark side of social media. Dark side of social media. Dark side of social media include cyberbullying, addictive use, trolling, online witch-hunts, fake news, and privacy abuse. In this article, we aim to illustrate the multidimensionality of the dark side of social media and describe the relative various undesirable outcomes. This is part of dark side of social media. Sharing, inappropriate distribution and content. The extent to which user exchange, distribute, and receive content. Presence, location tracking and monitoring. The extent to which user can know if others are accessible. Conversation, misinformation, disinformation, and aggressive engagement. The extent to which user communicate with others. Identity, explosion of online self. The extent to which user reveal themselves. Relationship, threat, coercion, abuse, intimidation. The extent to which user can connect to each other. Groups, in-group, out-group, out-group bias. The extent to which user form communities. Reputation, shaming and defamation. The, the extent to which user to know the standing of others. The global village. The global village is the confined societies throughout the world. The world as a single community, interdependent interdependent inhabits who are interconnected by contemporary technology, especially television and the World Wide Web. The Global Village. Global Village describes the phenomenon of the entire world becoming more interconnected as a result of propagation of media technologies throughout the world. The term was coined by Canadian media theorist Marshall McLuhan in his books The Gutenberg Galaxy, The Making of Typographic Man, 1962, and Understanding Media Global Village describe the phenomenon of the entire world becoming more interconnected as the result of the propagation of media technologies throughout the world. The term was coined by Canadian media theorist Marshall McLuhan. His book Galaxy, The Making of Typographic Man and Understanding the Media. Marshall McLuhan's Global Village described the phenomenon of world culture shrinking and expanding the same due pervasive technology advances that allow for instantaneous sharing of culture. Last, electronic mass, media collapse, space and time barriers human communication and enables people to interact, live in a global village. Media culture. Media culture. It refers to the current Western capitalist society that emerged and developed from the 20th century under influence of mass media. The term alludes to the overall impact and intellectual guidance exerted by the media not only on public opinions but also tastes and values. However, media significance is no longer confined to role of relying information, message, or knowledge. Stevenson explained that much of modern culture is transmitted by media or mass communication. In this sense, media can influence and even alter how people worldwide experience and create knowledge, information, and cultural exercise across various aspects of social existence. Johnson added the media culture is a socio-cultural condition wherein comedies and media texts are important for establishing and expressing cultural identity. Generally, media culture refers to societies predominantly influenced by Western capitalist culture through mass media. This concept magnifies the impact of media on global scale. Jackl explained the globalization could not exist without media, the human impulse to globalize and the human need to communicate however distant proceeded together through history, each driving influencing to other. To understand this dual purpose, 5 times periods toward globalization. These 5 periods are as follows. Number 1. Oral communication. Oral communication. It's communicating with spoken words. It's a verbal form communication where you communicate your thoughts, present ideas, and share information. Example. Oral communication are conversation with friends, family, or colleges, presentation, and speech. Human speech is oldest of all media in humanity's history. Language would in turn allow human beings to cooperate and coordinate their activities amid a highly dangerous and precarious environment. Number 2. Script. Earliest form of writing, it allows humans to communicate and share knowledge, ideas, and information over longer periods of time across vaster space. Script became integral part in creation of earliest recording devices. Number 3. Printing press. The printing press. The invention of printing press made previously expensively produced and made reading materials affordable and easily circulated. The production, reproduction, and circulation of reading material would take less time and resources. A printing press is a mechanical device for applying pressure to an ink surface resting upon a print medium, such as paper or cloth, thereby transferring the ink. Typically used for text, the invention and global spread of the printing press was one of the most influential events in the second millennium. A printing press is a mechanical device for applying pressure to an ink surface resting upon a print medium, such as paper or cloth, thereby transferring the ink. Typically used for text, the invention and global spread of the printing press was one of the most influential events in the second millennium. A printing press is a mechanical device for applying pressure to an ink surface resting upon a print medium, such as paper or cloth, thereby transferring the ink. Typically used for text, the invention and global spread of the printing press was one of the most influential events in the second millennium. Types of electronic media. There are 3 traditional types of electronic media and a few hybrids: television, telephone, radio, internet, and the smartphone may have created the new media type. Television. That the first need to be updated on what's happening every day. Telephone. Internet. The internet is a global area network that connects computer systems across the world. Smartphone. A smartphone is a mobile phone that can also be used as a computer. Electronic media. Electronic media refers to technologies requiring electromagnetic energy that electricity. Example, electronic media are telephone, telegraph, radio, television, film, etc. The telegraph's impact during its time sensation, it is credited from expediting the relay of information electronically, which took a considerable amount of time when relying on the physical transport of printed or recorded message. Since Alexander Graham Bell's invention of telephone, it became a globally adopted medium. Alongside the telephone, the radio transmits speech, a wireless fashion. The radio was the only available mass medium in the most remote areas all of all over the world. It is reaching becoming widespread nature. Today, radios also operate within the auspice of the internet, giving it truly global platform in terms of reach and availability. Digital media, TV, radio, website, social media, email, message, blog, mobile apps, podcasts, TV. Digital media. Digital media are electronic media that rely on new digital codes, the most evident manifestation of digital media today is the computer and the smartphone. Digital media enables people to communicate in ways that are not facilitated by the traditional mass media. Although the computer is considered the most powerful medium to influence globalization. The internet facilitation, exchange and transaction conducted in individual and organization through the computer. Digital media benefits from a vital 21st century invention, the internet. The ordinary citizens can demand more accountability and transparency among their governments through social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and online search engines such as Google, Internet Explorer, Yahoo. Media globalization. Media globalization is the phenomenon of expanding multinational corporate media investment, thereby resulting in the emergence of a global oligarchy of the first-tier corporation, which own and operate a variety of mass media content and distribution technologies, including television, radio, film, music, broadcasting, satellite, telecommunication, cable, newspaper, magazine, publishing companies, internet content providers, and other forms of converged digital media. They we can see political movements being coordinated across national boundaries through the internet and social networking sites, shaping the political landscape according to sensibilities of the sectors reacting to it. In conclusion, media has played a crucial role in the continued integration, independence, and the most especially interconnectivity interconnectivity of various groups of people around the world. It has brought forth a shared understanding of multiple cultures through the lens of mass media terribly influencing no matter how minute the worldview the worldviews and pattern of behavior of people from different parts of the world. Media's role in globalization. Mass media are play a big part in globalization. It enhances globalization facilities, culture, culture exchange, and multiple flows of information and image between countries through international news broadcasts, television programming, new technologies, and music. Global integration. Global integration depends mainly on the global adequacy of capital. Capital is scarce, more so in the developing world. The financial means available to developing countries must harmonize with the human capital. Without human capital in intellectual capital, financial capital is not conducive to producing economic benefits. Therefore, intellectual capital must develop side by with human capital and financial capital. Global integration can also involve the processes of product standardization and technology development centralization. Globalization is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies, and government of different nations that is driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. This process has effect on the environment, culture, political system, economic development and prosperity, and human physical well-being in societies around the world. Global media. We can communicate by appealing to each one's different sense, such as sense of smell, sight, hearing, taste, and touch. Predominantly, we relay our message or ideas through out our sense of sight or hearing. Society has become increasingly complex, thereby making direct communication an increasingly complicated matter. The major of Filipinos at least have one relative or knows someone who overseas Filipino worker we cannot visit themselves where they choose to work, but we want to communicate with them consistently. Before the internet was invented, relatives of OFWs communicated with their loved ones through postal mail, voice tapes, long distance telephone calls, or telegram. And now, this is the end. Thank you very much for listening to my reporting. Hopefully, you have learned something from my reporting. Thank you for listening again.